So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
The studio felt different that night. From the first second, Joe Rogan's tone wasn't calm, curious, or reflective. It was boiling with rage. He leaned forward, his fist pressing against the table, his eyes locked on the camera. "I'm pissed off," he growled. "I just found out what Diddy did to Justin Bieber when he was only 15 years old, and I can't stay quiet about it." That was all it took. From there, Rogan unleashed 3 hours of fury that ripped apart Diddy's reputation and exposed the rot of an industry that had turned a blind eye for too long. He didn't shed tears this time. He wasn't heartbroken. He was enraged, and his anger was contagious.
So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
Everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe
He started
Bill.
with the so-called sleepover that Diddy arranged. Rogan's voice rose as he explained how Bieber, barely a teenager, had been pulled into Diddy's inner circle under the guise of mentorship. "You don't take a 15-year-old kid and strip him of freedom in the name of guidance," Rogan barked. "That's not mentorship, that's control, that's manipulation." His hand slammed down on the table so hard the microphones rattled. The evidence was damning. Rogan read from Bieber's handwritten note, a desperate plea. From a boy overwhelmed by the relentless schedule Diddy forced on him. "Please let me go home," Bieber had written. "I'm too tired. I can't keep up." Rogan shook the paper in front of him, his face red with fury. This is a kid begging for his life back, and Diddy had the audacity to call it mentorship? That's not guidance, that's exploitation.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, how do you not be crazy? And good luck when you're older. You know, Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's got, you know, he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Then came the surveillance footage. Timestamp 3:12 a.m. Bieber, guitar in hand, shuffling nervously down a dimly lit hallway, flanked by 2 assistants. His eyes darted, his body language screamed discomfort. Rogan froze, describing that frame, his voice thundered, "Look at him!" That's not a kid living his dream. That's a prisoner. That's someone trapped in a situation he never asked for. Rogan's rage only intensified as he broke down the immersion weekends Diddy set up. Whiteboards filled with grueling vocal drills, phone restrictions that cut Bieber off from family, and sleep schedules designed to break him down. This wasn't training, Rogan snarled. This was brainwashing. This was about stripping away independence so Diddy could play puppet master.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there were so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I own.
That stuff's not gonna
I
matter
wasn't.
to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick and there was all these things and I was like, I can't. There's like, you just can't. Like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible like things.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything?
Yeah.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
I say this about Justin Bieber. When people hear about him going insane, like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 17 years old. And girls literally trying to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. They're doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. You want him to be normal?
Oh, man, poor guy.
For the next hour, Rogan didn't hold back. He tore into the executives who allowed it, the managers who ignored it, and the celebrities who cheered Diddy on while Bieber suffered. Where the hell were they, Rogan shouted. All those people who clapped for Diddy on award stages. All those people who called him a genius. You're guilty too. You saw a teenager drowning and you let it happen because the money kept flowing. His fury wasn't just at the industry. It was at the culture that worshipped Diddy for decades. Rogan mocked the interviews where Diddy bragged about controlling young artists, clips that once seemed charming but now looked like open confessions. He told us who he was, Rogan spat, and we laughed. We called it charisma. We were too blinded by the image to see the truth. When Rogan turned his attention directly to Bieber, his voice softened slightly, but the anger was still there. Justin, you never should have gone through that. You were a kid with talent and they turned you into a product they could own. You survived it, and that's powerful. But I'm furious that you had to survive it in the first place. The fallout began in real time. As Rogan raged, sponsors announced they were dropping Diddy. Music platforms flagged content, corporations distanced themselves from his name, but Rogan wasn't impressed. It's too late, he snapped. You all want to save face now, but where were you when he had Bieber under his thumb? Where was this energy when Justin was begging to go home?
Flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover.
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts? Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of man
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher, is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man.
By the final hour, Rogan was on fire. He demanded systemic change, real protections for young artists, stricter oversight of contracts, and accountability for the people who enabled Diddy. If we let this slide, if we move on and forget, then we're saying it's okay for it to happen again. And I swear to you, if the industry doesn't fix this, I'll call out every single one of you who stays silent. His closing words echoed like a war cry. Diddy's finished. His empire is collapsing, and it deserves to. I don't care how many hits he made. I don't care how rich he is. None of it matters when you've destroyed a kid's peace of mind. If you defend him after this, you're defending the indefensible. Enough is enough. The episode spread like wildfire. Clips of Rogan slamming his desk, shouting into the mic, and tearing apart Diddy's legacy went viral. Fans rallied behind Bieber, and Rogan's anger became the voice of millions who felt the same outrage. Diddy's downfall wasn't just happening, it was accelerating, and Joe Rogan's rage was the fuel.
We had seen these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. And for his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult supervision?
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters. And
Rogan's outrage didn't just stop at the walls of the studio. He began calling out the very foundation of the music business itself, hammering away at the toxic system that allowed Diddy to thrive unchecked for decades. This guy didn't operate in a vacuum. I was protected by money, by corporations, by people who didn't give a damn about the kids in their care as long as the hits kept coming. That's the real scandal here. Diddy was enabled. He pointed to the endless list of partnerships, sponsorships, and awards that Diddy received even while whispers swirled about his behavior. You're telling me no one in those boardrooms knew what was going on? Rogan asked, his tone dripping with fury. Of course they knew. They all knew. And they stayed quiet because they were cashing checks. They traded silence for profit. His anger hit like a hammer as he accused the industry of being just as guilty as Diddy himself. Rogan then turned to the fans, making it clear that the public also had a responsibility. We saw Justin break down in public. We saw the exhaustion. We saw him lashing out, crying for help. And what did we do? We laughed. We made memes. We treated a kid's pain like entertainment. That's on us. We should have been demanding answers. Instead, we let the machine chew him up while Diddy smiled on red carpets. The room shook as Rogan slammed the table once more. His voice carried the weight of every parent who has ever wanted to protect their child. No 15-year-old should ever be put through what Justin Bieber endured. And the fact that Diddy got away with it for this long, it makes my blood boil. He paused, glaring into the camera before spitting out the words, "This is the end of Diddy. No excuses, no comebacks. His empire is finished."